Your dog may know you are sad before you say a word, not because it understands every thought in your head, but because to your dog, sadness is not invisible. It changes the way you move. It changes the way you breathe. It changes the sound of your voice, the smell of your body, and the rhythm of your day. And your dog has spent years studying exactly those things. Maybe you have noticed it before. You come home quiet. You sit down without turning on the television. You stare at nothing for a little too long. And then, without being called, your dog appears. No big performance, no demand, just a warm body beside your leg, a chin on your knee, or a pair of eyes looking up as if to ask, "Are you still in there?" It can feel like your dog knows. And in a way, science suggests it might. But the real story is not that your dog reads one signal. It is reading a whole person. Start with the easiest clue, your body. When people feel sad, stressed, or emotionally overwhelmed, they often move differently. Their shoulders drop. Their face becomes less animated. Their steps slow down. They may sit in one place longer than usual, avoid eye contact, or stop using the playful gestures their dog expects. To another person, these changes might seem small. To a dog, they can be huge. Dogs are experts at human patterns. They know the version of you that grabs keys and rushes toward the door. They know the version of you that opens the treat drawer. They know the version of you that laughs, dances around the kitchen, or calls their name in a certain bright way. So when that pattern changes, your dog notices. Not as a sentence, more like a question. Something is different about my person today. Researchers have found that dogs are surprisingly good at reading human faces and body language. But sadness is more complicated than a smile or a frown. Sadness often looks quieter. It is in the stillness. It is in the pause before you speak. It is in the way your body becomes heavier in the room. Then there is your voice. Dogs do not need to understand every word to hear emotion. They hear pitch, speed, rhythm, and intensity. When you are cheerful, your voice may lift. It may become faster, lighter, and more musical. When you are sad, your voice may drop. It may become flatter, slower, or softer. You might speak less. You might say the same words, but the emotional shape of them changes. Your dog may not know the sentence, "I had a terrible day," but it can hear that you are not speaking like yourself. To your dog, the words are only part of the message. The music underneath the words is often just as important, and sadness has its own music. But perhaps the most extraordinary clue is smell. Dogs experience the world through the nose first. When your emotional state changes, your body chemistry can change too. Stress, fear, and anxiety are linked with shifts in hormones, sweat, and other subtle body odors. These changes may be far too faint for us to notice, but not for a dog. Your body may tell a chemical story before your mouth tells any story at all. Studies have suggested that dogs can detect human stress-related odors and may behave differently when exposed to them. That does not mean your dog understands the word sadness. It means your dog may be able to smell that your body is in a different state. This is why dogs can seem almost impossible to fool. You can say, "I am fine." You can smile for a second. But your dog is not only watching your mouth, it is listening to your breath. It is smelling your skin. It is noticing that you did not greet them the way you usually do. And this brings us to something very important. Dogs do not just sense emotions. They learn relationships. Your dog knows your habits because it lives inside them. It knows where you sit when you are relaxed. It knows the difference between a busy morning and a quiet evening. Over time, your dog builds a map of you. A dog kind of map made of scent, sound, movement, timing, and consequence. When you are sad, many parts of that map shift at once. And your dog may respond not because it has solved your emotion like a puzzle, but because it recognizes that its familiar person has changed. Then comes the question people care about most. Does your dog comfort you on purpose? The honest answer is, sometimes, maybe. Dogs are social animals. Many are highly responsive to human distress. Some studies suggest dogs may approach crying people more often than people who are simply talking or humming. This is sometimes called emotional contagion. It may begin simply, my person is upset and I want to get closer. But simple does not mean meaningless. Your dog may not comfort you the way a person comforts you. It may not know the story behind your sadness. It may not understand the phone call, the argument, the grief, or the worry. But it understands proximity. It understands that being near you matters. For a dog, closeness is communication. Leaning against you can mean, I am here. Resting a head on your lap can mean, let us be still together. And sometimes that is exactly the kind of comfort people need. Not advice, not questions, just presence. Of course, not every dog responds to sadness the same way. Some dogs rush in and press their body against you. Some bring a toy because play is the best language they know. Some lick your hands or face. Some become quiet and lie nearby. And some seem unsure because intense human emotion can be confusing to them. This does not mean those dogs care less. It means dogs have personalities, histories, sensitivities, and comfort zones. A young dog may get excited and clumsy. An older dog may simply settle beside you and not make much noise. The response is different. The attention may still be there. There is also one thing we should be careful about. It is easy to turn dogs into little therapists in our imagination. But dogs are not emotional machines designed to absorb human sadness. They have their own needs, their own stress, and their own limits. But if your dog looks tense, yawns repeatedly, turns away, licks its lips, or tries to leave, it may need space too. The kindest bond goes both ways. Your dog watches you. You can watch your dog back. And maybe that is the real lesson. Your dog knowing you are sad is not one mysterious ability. It is the result of thousands of ordinary moments. Every walk, every greeting, every quiet evening, every time you came home carrying the weather of the day on your shoulders. Your dog has been there, quietly collecting the details, the sound of your steps, the shape of your voice, the scent of your skin, the way the room changes when you are not okay. So when sadness arrives, your dog may not know the whole story, but it knows something has changed. And sometimes it answers in the only way it can, by coming closer, by staying, by reminding you without a single word that you are not alone in the room. And maybe that is why it feels so powerful. Not because your dog understands sadness exactly the way you do, but because it has learned you. And when you are hurting, that may be enough.